Hello, everybody. So we are going to start our next session now, which is specifically focused on Odoo. My focus on these sessions will be to understand and dive deep into Odoo as far as the functional aspects. I will not go and discuss each and every feature of Odoo, but I am going to go into the details or discuss a helicopter view of all the major features of Odoo. As far as any business application or software is considered, it is a very extensive software and it is not possible to cover each and every feature in a single session and requires multiple days of training to master the functional aspects of Odoo. I'm also going to cover some good features which are something which differentiates Odoo or are the deal winners as far as the customers are concerned. Odoo's three major features, not specific to any particular business applications, I believe are its strongest suits and is also one of the reasons why it becomes a good choice as far as any system is concerned. Now, the best thing about Odoo is that it's an extremely comprehensive business suite. So you cannot call it an ERP anymore, as OpenERP SA rightly changed its name from TinyERP to OpenERP and finally OpenERP to Odoo, primarily because it does not identify it as only ERP. It's a complete business suite where you can exercise all possible business processes in one single software. And if you have seen Odoo grow over the years, you might have observed that Odoo is possibly bringing all possible business related functions and applications to, to Odoo itself. They started by bringing the website module, then adding e-commerce. They added email and SMS marketing. They have added mobile field service management. They have added portals. They have added Odoo Studio, e-learning, and so on. The list goes on. It is also available and possible that most third party applications which are currently available for integration with most softwares are already integrated with Odoo. There could be a difference between how what applications are available in enterprise and community, but it covers each and every aspect. Also, different updates and upgrades are available on a very frequent basis, which makes it an attractive proposition. Secondly, it has an extremely modular structure, which essentially means you would be able to build features based on a very modular structure. You can use it by clicking a button, by installing and uninstalling. So it's like a plug and play system that adds the value to it. We can also customize or create modules based on incremental requirements. That's per your choice. Finally, the best thing, which is the powerful community. Not many software can boast of a very powerful community which increases its value and efficiency over time. A lot of important contributions are coming from the community who enhance the system by additional business applications. In many cases, these business applications are paid, but it still is a great proposition and saves a lot of time from a customer's perspective. Odoo has an extremely detailed list of modules. It was not possible to cover each and every aspect to it. So at this point of time, I'm going to move to Odoo. and run around Odoo a bit. For this session, I have considered Odoo 13 Community Edition. Please note that major feature remains the same. However, there will be some features which would be additional in the enterprise version. There will be different features which may or may not be available or might be available with a different set of features in older versions. Okay. Since community version is the largest used, I have taken version 13 for today's session. Now, as far as Odoo is considered, most of these applications are available and can be installed right from the application section. So if I look at the business applications as a functional consultant, you will be able to see all these applications right here. I can take this filter out and you can see that it shows me around 361 modules. Of course, this can vary from time to time based on some additional applications that might be installed. Some applications are black in color, which means they are installed, red are not installed. Installation of applications are very simple, where you can visit a particular application and click on install or uninstall. Needless to say that as the implementation goes on, you are not required or supposed to upgrade on build, and generally this is supposed to be handled by an expert functional Odoo functional consultant who has been hired by you. Because if you upgrade or uninstall modules in which the data is already placed, then you are likely to lose a lot of data. Hence, to be handled by an expert, especially after the implementation or UAT has gone past. Now, one of the major modules that we have is the CRM. Now, CRM, along with some other modules, build the foundation for a lot of base modules which are going to be used as a dependency in other cases. For example, we have an application or management of address book within the system. In this case, we use the concept of partners. Many of you who are aware of Odoo know the concept of partners, where we can use the concept of partners and use this within different modules. So the sales management system can use partners for managing customers. The purchase management can use for vendors. HR management can use for payroll, especially in terms of linking employee and users. Similarly, we have a calendar, which again can be implemented and can work across the system for all users. And based on the linkages with the partners, as you can see here, the different visibility to different user access groups can be provided. Similarly, we have the messaging or the social network or the discuss, where you would be able to communicate with different users either through chat, notifications, mailing messaging channels. This can be used in common throughout the system. So better said than view that there are some features which can be applied or used across the different modules in the system. I will additionally add few layers onto this as I go and explain other modules. CRM. We are aware that CRM is an important aspect to all the organizations who conduct sales or have a lot of inquiries and leads to handle to generate the sales. In those scenarios, the CRM module comes in very handy. Now, the good thing about Odoo CRM is that it has a very attractive interface. It allows you to capture most of the information required for most businesses, and it has a very good looking and a user friendly appearance for managing the pipeline. There could be differences in terms of terminologies which user might be custom with, but that can always be changed for users. Within a particular form, you would be able to fill the data. You will be able to define revenue and the probability, and then the system also allows us to make some settings based on which the system can generate automated alerts or calculated automated probabilities. Plus, you will be able to define your own stages. Also, there is a linkage with the calendar module and the quotations from the sales module. The good thing is the social network, which I like the most, and it's an attractive proposition for many clients where they are able to keep a track on audit trail of each and every event that has occurred in the lifeline of this particular lead. So I can send message to people. I can schedule activities. I can update the status of activities. All these things make the CRM, or rather these features, a very attractive proposition for the client. Now, this CRM allows us to generate reports based on the data which is created. Now, let's understand how Odoo generates these reports. The good thing about Odoo's reporting structure is that what we have is called on-the-fly reporting, which essentially means every time you make changes in a lead form, like adding new attributes or any list of value fields, or let's say some kind of categories or regions or any kind of attribute, the system will automatically allow us to use those fields for generating reports and analysis in filters and grouping. So I can basically choose custom fields. Please note that if you add 100 attributes, you have 100 options. If you add 200 options, you have 200 fields, you have 200 options. Plus, multiply it with possibilities where you can use multiple filters, multiple groups, multiple time ranges, and you have a whole host of reports. Not just that, these reports can use different measures. This report can have different types. This report can have different views, and so on. This is one of those amazing features of Odoo that I really like, and I always ensure that I show it to the client, especially in my initial meetings, and I stress them in the training sessions also. These are some of the things which attract the client the most. I have some information which can be available for export based on the filters and groups. Needless to say, it is high possibility that the client will demand a lot of changes. There might be new requirements, there might be process changes, there might be access right changes, and you are likely to do that. But every time new changes come up, Let the client aware, or at least you know what features are really useful that should not be forgotten. Wherever you make any customization, please try to ensure that you do not lose the good features of Odoo to accommodate new features. Now, this CRM is closely linked with another module, which is sales. As far as the sales is considered, we have lot of custom features. In configuration, I can enable some features, disable features, and needless to say, there are variations, especially when I discuss in terms of enterprise and the community version. So you can see that there are some features which are enabled. There are certain features which have not been selected. As soon as I select and install them, they will be installed. If I uncheck this box and remove it, this feature will be uninstalled, but I will also lose the data and so on. So these features required to be installed based on the customer's requirement. So if the customer's requirement demands that you need to create product variants, then you can use this feature or enable this feature to create the variants. So every time you have a requirement, kindly explore all the features of Odoo if that feature is already available. In case your knowledge of Odoo is limited and or you are not sure, kindly explore all the settings or configuration options before you make the decision to modify the system. As far as Odoo's sales management module is considered, all the basic requirements are met. First of all, to define the products. Again, product is also becomes a base module which is used for sales, purchase, finance, even assets, even timesheet expenses, and it can have application in manufacturing, quality, maintenance of assets, and so on. Again, one of those important modules or applications for which we should not build a new application at all. Under products, I can have a variety of information starting from defining taxes, prices, types, inventory, relation with variants, uh, uh, behavior in case of sales and purchase, inventory, and in case accounting is enabled, then you can define income, expense, and tax accounts as well. We can generate orders and quotations on will, and the system also gives you a brief functionality on how you can modify the sales order printout based on your requirements. Okay, based on the additional features installed, you will get information related to e-commerce, any optional products. It is also linked with project and task, and hence it is showing you a shortcut button, especially when you have projects in place. Once a quotation or order is created, it also gives you an option to send it by email, lock it, cancel it, and you can also this in a customer portal how it will look like if a customer portal comes into picture. I firmly believe that Odoo's interface is very user friendly and is very attractive for an average customer. Of course, there is a likelihood that some features that he expects may not be there or in a certain way, but needless to say, this can be built over here and still going to be very attractive. And this is one of the biggest selling points of Odoo, why it is more user friendly, easy, and comfortable to users compared to other softwares. From the sales window, we have also have direct relations with inventory. You can see a delivery module. Any order which is generated based on the invoicing policies, you will also be able to see orders which require invoicing, which means it is also linked with the invoicing and the billing module. Again, a close integration within the Odoo, which means you do not have to run this process once again. So this is already taken care. And similar to CRM, you can also see that there is a lot of reporting which is done. Now you can see here very carefully that these reports are very similar in format or structure the way CRM reports were visible. Again, we have options to choose unique filters and grouping based on our choice, time ranges, favorite. So you can see that this is a standard reporting structure that Odoo has, which allows for a lot of flexible reporting. So you basically do not create uh, new reports or new views every time any changes happen. Apart from sales, we have purchase, the process for managing procurement. Purchasing and sales are like opposite of each other. So while we are managing products for selling, here we are managing products for buying. So Odoo differentiates them based on whether you want to buy the product or sell the product based on the domain that has been defined. The system identifies that, and on specific menus shows the right type of products. Similar to customers, we can create vendors here. Defining vendors, importing them is a very easy process. And the use of smart buttons to link relationships makes it very easy to refer to certain documents right from the vendor window itself. You can create multiple contacts for users within the vendor and define different parameters for sales and purchases as well. Please note that we have a different cases of pricing that can be defined as well, which is price list. And now price list can also be defined for sales as well as purchase. If you look very carefully, the most humble and the basic aspects of sales, purchase, and CRM are very comprehensively covered as far as Odoo is considered. At no point of time you can claim this to be features which are not important or does not cover most of the things. Needless to say, every company is different and there is high likelihood that you might need one or the other changes in each of these processes. For example, when we create any customer or vendor, especially in case of India, so while the GST field is available, we make it mandatory that they have to fill GST before any record can be created. We can also restrict creation of GST with specific digits. We can also restrict creation or duplication based on the GST number. So additional functionalities can be added as per the requirement. Again, my purchase orders can be generated In exactly the same manner, sales order was generated. I can choose items. The system automatically filters based on domain, based on price list. My pricing can come. I can add those prices. I can restrict this based on customization. I can choose the taxes which are coming. And I can confirm the order once I am sure of the order. Based on the behavior of the product in terms of inventory, system will automatically generate the receipt. If it was a product type service, no receipt generation was required to be done. I can always create my bill right from here. And if you recall one of my BRDs, the process was to the store executive to generate the bill as soon as the receiving is done. So in that scenario, we had to restrict the system to not show the button of creation of bill unless and until product receiving was done. And in another case, the bill was auto-generated based on the actual receipt of items. So such customization or such modifications can be done after careful business analysis and also understanding how Odoo operates. Okay, you have to make any customization if required based and running on and respecting Odoo's framework. If I look at the inventory section, which is a backbone of many industries and is required in each and every company, in that scenario, I can see a lot of options for configuration. You can see options for barcode scanners, delivery packages, warnings, variants, lot and serial number, expiry date for lot and serials, multiple warehouse options, lead time definition for sales and purchase, in other configuration, I can define multiple types of warehouse, and Odoo gives you an option to create multiple locations. It is extremely important to understand that Odoo's inventory management is one of the best inventory management systems. Here you can actually do a double entry inventory management system without which the system does not allow to make any entry in the system. As far as the operations are considered, under the overview section, the major operations of stock are transferred or created or divided into three major categories, which we call operation types. Under operation types, I can see different type of operations like receipts, deliveries, internal types, and manufacturing. Under overview section allows me to filter these stock transfers based on the operation type for easy navigation. Based on this navigation, I can go to a particular stock transfer and process that stock transfer transfer. While processing stock transfer, Odoo uses common models and objects to be able to correlate between the different types of stock transfer and make them completely opposite of each other, which means if I receive something and if I return, it simply becomes a reverse entry of the original, which allows us to manage the inventory reports and customizing on these reports pretty easy. All reports are primarily based on either operation type, source location, destination location, and in many cases, we can add additional attributes as well. Validating them makes the changes in inventory automatically and generates the report. We have some standard delivery and good receipts note. Okay. Needless to say, these reports can be customized in terms of look and feel and design based on your requirement. Some functionalities are available in standard functionally, and from the help of any customization developer or technical consultant, you can modify them. Inventory operations also allows me to manage automatic scheduler based on which certain stock moves can be managed. I can also do a very easy inventory adjustment based on which I can update the quantity, especially at the start of the project. So I'm going to update the inventory of a particular product. It tells me what is the quantity right now. I can enter the real quantity 40 and 50. I can choose the serial number. As soon as I validate, it is giving me a warning that it requires tracking. So you need to choose a lot. I'm going to choose a lot. The system has disabled because it says you already have one inventory adjustment in progress. So I'm going to use only one. After I do the validation, the system will automatically update, and under the adjustments, I can see the actual change in quantity. You can see that the system has generated a stock move here from a particular virtual location to a location. If I look at my reports, let me group it by product. So cable management box, I can see that under, you can see an example of double entry inventory management. So you can see that from virtual location inventory adjustments, I can see minus 25 quantity. And in the shelf 2, I can see the total quantity to be 25. So effectively, My physical locations are stock locations or internal locations, and that will give me the correct report. I can filter here to show only internal locations. In that scenario, it will only show me the physical location. There are other reports also which will impact the valuation. For the valuation, you can define different types of valuation. It's an important matrix. We have different types of costing methods which is available in Odoo. Now this helps us in finding out the inventory valuation at a particular point in time. It also helps us in passing these values to the accounting system, especially in companies where it is highly stock intensive. Some companies use automated methods, some companies use manual methods for the same. Once you define that, you will be able to see the inventory valuation. Inventory valuation can vary from product to product or rather category to category based on the choices. I have had cases in past where we had to create some custom valuation methods uh, because the original processes were modified as well. For example, in one of the companies, the inventory valuation was FIFO, but they wanted to consider FIFO only for a certain period of time. Okay, so there were exceptions that were built to suit their business requirements or their business ecosystem. So we have done such tasks as well in the past. Feel free to ask me any questions in between if required. So
Pratik, I have a question here. This is Lionel. Have you handled project-wise costing in any case?
can you repeat your question?
Yeah, have you handled project-wise costing in, for example, if I'm taking a contracting company, so
Mm-hmm.
they buy stock for their particular projects. It's project-based purchase. So what happens is
Mm-hmm.
when they want to affect the costing for that product, if it's come through a project, it should pick up the cost of that particular project for that particular project. And when I'm using it for project, it should affect, when I'm using it for the particular project, it should pick up that particular costing. So have you worked on certain costing?
So you are meaning to say that the inventory valuation for different projects can be different. So if for a particular project I have procured certain items at a particular cost, I would like to stick to it. And in those cases, I would like to apply the same price. Now, in such
Correct.
scenarios, if such cases are in place, which happens especially in the construction industry, so we have done not exactly this, but we have done similar job in one of the oil and gas maintenance companies based in India. So the requirement was that everything there was related to project. Okay,
Mhm.
so if I'm doing any procurement, if I'm doing any hiring, everybody was associated with a project only. So it's all expense and income were related to that. So in that scenario, we had to create different locations for each and every project. Okay, so
Mhm.
instead of project based costing, what we did was a location based costing. Okay, now, so for each and every project there was a location, and the advantage was that they could use the same feature for costing of any kind of procurement for even head offices or non projects. So yes,
Now,
we have done similar work. but based on we have used the concept of locations, because the stock transfer is being done from locations, and we could use Odoo standard functionalities with less customization we could achieve more.
Pratik, over here for now, there are two cases here. Now, if I'm using project-wise purchase, I'm purchasing for the project. There are some purchases that are not project related and which would want to handle as a weighted average method. And only when I'm selecting a project during a purchase, that time it should affect the project-wise costing evaluation method. So, will this method, which you said that I have to create every project as a location, will be helpful for this? And second question is, um, if I'm purchasing and if I don't want to receive in my warehouse, I want it to be direct at the project location. Sometimes I'll receive it at the main warehouse. Sometimes I will receive it at the project location warehouse. How I'm going to handle that?
So the point I explained for costing method can be applied at location. So we had implemented this in Odoo 11, I guess. So we had the feature we could implement where we could apply costing method based on location also. Okay. So yes, based on locations, we could do that. If I had to do directly only by projects, then I would have to create a structure where I can specify that for so and so projects, I need to do so and so activity. And then also I had to specify locations as far as internal locations are considered and not use all possible locations. So that's why we use the concept of locations, and we applied costing method based on locations. So we could choose and configure that if this is the location, this will be the costing method which is being used.
All right.
In the second question, can you repeat it again? I missed it.
Yeah, for example, now when the supplier will deliver the goods to the warehouse, so some cases what happens is the supplier would directly deliver the goods to the project location, and there
Mhm.
are times where they will deliver it to the main warehouse. So how is my costing going to be affected there, and how is that transaction will be recorded in Odoo?
If you have a scenario where you also want to do project-based costing and also manage both of them, again we will use the concept of locations. And even if we create the end location to be a project location, we will also consider it as a project-based location. Okay, so your idea of location-based costing is extended here. As far as the functionality to apply these costing to the project in both scenarios, we will have to make some customization to enable costing parameters in case stock accounting is in place. We can use the concept of routes. So Odoo has a concept of routes where you can do automatic route management and automatic movement of goods from one location to another in certain scenarios. Okay. Now, the benefit of defining these routes is that, for example, you have a case where if a particular product goes to a specific location, it is meant for a specific project, and you want it to be coded or encode costing encoding in a certain manner. So you can move that particular product to a specific location automatically. Okay, for something like pick pack and ship or quality control, where once a product is received, automatically it goes to the quality location. So this gives you the possibility of moving a particular product to a particular location, which then you can use for enabling location based costing, and this will fulfill your purpose of moving to a project location as well, and final location can be chosen either a stock location or a project. Okay.
Yeah,
If
fine, Pratik.
your
Thanks.
problem is more complex than what I have explained, maybe after the end of the day, we can discuss it further as well. Okay.
All right. All right. Thanks, Pratik.
Okay. So apart from inventory, we have a major module which is accounting and finance. As far as accounting and finance is considered, we are aware that accounting and finance is likely to vary from country to country. However, the basics of accounting remain the same. So you can do your invoicing, you can do your payments as per requirement, you can create your credit notes and debit notes. However, the taxation varies from country to country and the legal and compliance report varies from country to country. This is one of the areas where you will find that certain features are available in community for different countries, but there is also likelihood that some of the features might be missing from the vanilla application of Odoo. However, good thing is in any country wherever there is at least one implementation done by any Odoo vendor, they might have already solution available for finance. Okay. Finance is also one of those modules which most ERP companies and especially Odoo companies fail to implement it successfully. One of the reasons, what I feel based on my experience and project rescue projects that I've encountered, is the incapability of the team to understand the financial concepts. So while some of the aspects or some of the features can be customized based on the customer's requirement without probably asking any question, whenever you make any changes in accounting, you also need to consider what are the good practices and what are the compliances that need to be taken care. The- So many Odoo developers or consultants do not understand the impact and likely to cause issues. So finance is also one of those modules where we do not generally modify the base structure and only create reports above the base shell. I can see here ability to create invoices, uh, pretty much strongly linked with sales, purchases, and inventory. So you know you have a direct relationship. As soon as you generate invoices from sales, purchase, and even point of sale modules, even e-commerce module, you can generate the invoice directly. Almost each and every module at some level is linked to the finance module. Okay, and as you add on, you can add further integrations with finance wherever applicable. One of the cases would be we created a custom application for tender management for one of our clients, and they wanted to manage the payment of tender fees right from the tender module. So you can create a request and generate a receipt, and it should be automatically booked in the accounting module. So again, we created a feature just like that, similar to what we have in sales, where you can create an invoice and book a particular case. Same with purchases and expense, which is again directly linked with accounting. As far as any accounting application is considered, every time you make a customization, it is strongly recommended that you do not modify the base framework. It hugely impacts all possible reports and messes up the accounting module. It will also have a huge impact, especially when you will have the case where you have to migrate the data or upgrade a client's Odoo version. If you are migrating from an older version of Odoo to a newer version of Odoo, it is important to understand the underlying interface and structure. And if you alter the base, then you are in for a long haul. You will need much more customization, you will need much more efforts to make the change. Similarly, we can generate credit notes. The credit notes could have been generated right from invoices as well. The system has good enough features to manage all generic requirements. A company which has a very small business, maybe 5 people, in some scenarios may not require to be customize the system at all. You can make your changes here and validate. Similarly, we have features for managing expenses and bills. Let's create a vendor bill. I could have option to choose a PO. If I had chosen a PO, the system would have auto generated or kept the taken the records. We have a feature to register the payment right from this window and reconcile as well. I'll click on register payment. The system has a tendency to pick the open balance at this point of time. It will also show me all the possible payment methods, the different bank accounts, petty cash account. And if I add additional modules for checks or payments, then it will give me such options as well. If I click on validate, it will go to the paid state. And one of the good features or likable feature is the reconciliation, where it is available just at the bottom, and you can see it can easily explain you what the cancellation was done on what basis. So it has all the details that are available to me. It explains me the payment method, it explains me the number, it explains me the amount payment, and it also tells me the date as well. Good thing is I can also do reconciliation right from here. If I need to make changes by clicking on the link, then I can go ahead and view the same as well. If I click on unreconcile, it will give me a warning that you are not authorized and hence I am not able to reconcile. Access rights play an important role as far as any module is considered, which we will briefly touch upon as we reach the end of the session. Reporting features are available, but as far as the community is considered, uh, you will feel the need or lack of reports which is available in the vanilla version. As Odoo version has upgraded, they have made certain features exclusively available only to enterprise version. However, it is quite possible, and in reality all these reports which are missing are available free of cost in the community also. Unless and until a certain report has to be created in a certain way, most of these reports are available to you. Even if it is required to be customized, it is still going to be a better option to do so as per your choice, because then it will enable you to create the reports as per your choice. Apart from this, we have again huge number of modules. We have project management system. This project management system is more suited to IT companies or service industry, where you have task management and timesheet management. You can look at the configuration option. We have certain features to add subtasks, project ratings, and timesheets. Timesheets is also a feature closely linked with HR, but it is associated with projects. I can create my projects, and within projects, I can create multiple tasks. For these tasks, we can manage various stages. You can track the progress of this project, check the time that is being spent on these timesheets. In these timesheets can be further used to keep your track of your attendance. In some cases, do the billing to the client, and in some cases, pay your salary as well. Simple case scenarios are available for each of them. However, if you need advanced functionalities for project billing, then you will be required to customize the system. We have had cases where we have customized a project management system uh, for IT company, where we were able to define service level agreements with different clients. So it was like a contract. Now, as soon as the employees used to enter their timesheets based on the rates that are defined for resources, the system at the end of the month could generate the timesheets, and based on which those billings can be generated. And the management could also generate a report in terms of what was the actual costing based on their salary and certain additional overheads above the employee's salary. We have reporting section here. You can see similar structure, filters, groups, graph view, pivot view. We have project costs and revenue available. If you see how these projects are revenues are coming, this is coming based on the timesheet costing and the invoice costing. So here the foundation of costing can only come through timesheets. In any company where the projects does not have any timesheet structure or does not depend on it, this project management system may not work properly. And hence, in other scenarios, we have created project management system for construction companies where the timesheet module is seldom used. In those scenarios, we had to completely customize the system to manage the tendering process, the project management process, where we could define the detailed scope of work, the bill of quantities, and the schedule of rates, mobilization and demobilization planning, project budgeting and control, project management activity definition, critical path scheduling, Gantt, definition of milestone, subcontractor management, and finally the invoicing for the same. So for any other organization who do not depend on timesheets, this project management is required to be heavily customized. Project management is also one of those modules which are frequently customized over a period of time. We look at point of sale. Point of sale is an important module, especially for the retail outlets, where you can define under configuration, you can have options. So here you can have multiple options to define for your point of sale. I can define products here. For point of sale, it gives me options for defining or manage restaurant as well. So I can create or use it for restaurants as well. I have two point of sale here. I have set a company barcode scanner. I have Odoo has its own IoT box, so you can connect that IoT box. You have to purchase it from which is available to be bought online. You can define global discounting schemes, loyalty program, which is a very important requirement, but to be honest, it is part of the enterprise. This is one of the things that you might feel to be required to customize. Many vendors like us have done so, and these modules are available in community. POS is also one of those attractive modules of Odoo, which is heavily customized. It is asking me that it should be in the same currency. So I can see that currency has not been defined. Let me see the payment methods. So let's define the currency. The good thing about account Odoo is that good warnings have been set up. So most of the standard configuration, if you do not allow, the system give you the right warnings. I will need to enable additional features. Most of your access rights are defined here. So certain access rights have been defined as a group, and many of these access rights have been separated out because they felt that many of these requirements can vary from user to user. So you can see a lot of options available here for users. I'm going to select an option for full accounting features. This is also one of the reasons why certain access right was not available. One of the users asked me why a particular feature was not available, even though I'm an admin. But you can see that even after you are an admin, you can manage or define certain features which are not available to the admin as well. So quite possible. Even though it is well accepted and understood that it will have all the features. When I go to accounting, you can see now that I have some additional features available under accounting review. I also see accounting menu. I can see under reporting, I still have one. I can see additional options here. So we have post sales journal. Let's see for which company it has been defined, your company. And this has been defined for INR, no problem. We will have a look at the cash. No specific currency has been defined here. I can define here the operation types, the stock locations. A lot of these restrictions will also add up as we have a lot of multiple companies into place. So this is a possibility. I have to make changes in the price list before I make further changes, as the price lists are not in the same currency. In the settings, I also have to define how these pricing will be defined. So price lists have been defined here. I go back to the point of sale again. There is a active session, so I'm going to close this session. It did not allow me. Odoo's POS module is also an attractive option where you can use the touchscreen systems interfaces. So you can use this on tabs. Since it was launched 4 5 years back, this has been an attractive option. And almost all the uh, integrations or all the features which are required as far as point of sale is considered, Odoo has them. So it has its offline mode, price list, barcode scanners, and literally everything. The only additions that you might feel is different loyalty programs and options for maybe, for example, you need to give some kind of discounts or some kind of schemes that you need to define. That might require some changes. Otherwise, it takes care of everything. Once order is closed, you can close the session and go back. Apart from that, the new age features that Odoo has brought up and is also one of those attractive selling points of Odoo. One of them being the e-commerce or the website module. None of these modules are small and require extensive sessions of training to fully understand them. As far as the website is considered, Odoo has a lot of features. You can create your own websites, apply multiple range of themes. Most of the themes which are available free of cost may not be an attractive options. Either you have to create your own theme, which requires a definitely experienced technical developer, and if not, you can purchase the themes from the marketplace, which is available, made by different vendors. You have options for SEO, you have options for social media integration. You can use, create multiple websites, link it with Google Maps analytics. And if you are using e-commerce, then you have options to define discounts, price list, coupons, and promotions as well. If you go to your website, you have easy drag and drop features to create websites. For example, you can create banners here. I can click on save to save them. This is just one of the pages. If you look at the Odoo shop, which is the e-commerce module, Please note that these are exclusively, most of these features are themes that we are using in our You can further make the changes from here. Product descriptions. You can see all these changes that I am making are having an impact here. I can also modify certain other pages. If you want to create a new page, the system gives me options to create different kinds of pages. It also reflects what kind of modules we have. We can create forums, we can create blogs, we can create events, we can create products for e-commerce. We have a recruitment portal that we can have, and a completely new page that we need to have. So everything is possible. I'll just take up a new page. Let me add about team. Feel free to ask me any questions that come to your mind, or any kind of challenge feature that you would like to add more. These are example of some of the snippets which are already available. The good thing is that these are based on themes, such some are already available, and as you have more themes, the system the system will give you more capabilities as far as the website module is considered. Odoo's website module has come leaps and bounds ahead of what it was there probably 4 or 5 years back, and now it has more user friendly. It is now SEO friendly as well. Okay. Most of my clients now, along with their ERP uh, development, we are always, or in most cases, also additionally redoing their website as well, unless and until they have a very unique website or want to maintain there, they are adding these value additions to their business. Apart from that, we have some other unique tools which are available. Most of you might have already read about them. We'll just have a brief look at them. So Maniganda, I guess you have a question. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. You can ask your question. You have been unmuted. You can ask your question.
Hello, am I audible? No. So my question
Yes,
was,
yes.
yeah. So my question was regarding the website builder. So where we are building the website dynamically through the front end, where drag and drop and doing many things on the fly. So suppose I
Mhm.
wanted the same thing, whatever we designed, that should be in the code. Suppose if I take a backup, so I suppose that will not come along with the database, right? So if I take only the dump of it. So how to include that as a permanent code source in my code so that it can be easy and maintained.
So you will have to create modules. You will have to do hard code for that. So generally what happens is that whenever we are building any website for a client, okay,
Yeah.
so we understand that there will be few aspects which will be required to be in a specific way. Let me take you an example of one of the projects that we are executing in Canada. The
Okay.
company is based in the real estate sector, and they are
Hmm.
engaged in buying and selling, just like any real estate website. Now, what
Okay.
they need is that all their page designs are fixed in a certain manner. However, they need the
Okay.
flexibility to be able to change color combinations at will over a period of time. So what we have
Okay.
done, we have designed specific page types and pages for them, which is fixed in
Okay.
general. For example, every time you post a property, it will only have a look in a certain way. So in that case, we have created from a technical point of view a code-based module. In that case, the front-end application or changes will not work. In that case, will have to engage a developer for the same. Okay.
Yes, yes, I got it. And is there any easy way where we can get that whatever the code which gets generated based on the design drag and drop, can we use it in the module?
No, you cannot use it actually. It is database specific and it is also
Uh-huh.
configuration based. So you
Okay.
cannot actually.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
website module, the drag and drop is good, but yes, you are right. If there are certain things you need it as a sort of template, then you will have to do the coding itself.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
generating your own theme basically. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But if you see practically, companies who have simple business requirements or maybe only need a corporate site, then you may not need to make such changes or customizations. Okay, because again, website module is being handled by the website admins. Okay, let me go further ahead.
Okay.
Kindly excuse me for slow speed of the internet. One of the good features that I see here is the email marketing, and similarly we have SMS marketing that has come up in Odoo. So it not to a large extent, but it's a good starting point for all automated email alerts that you want to send to your leads or visitors on your websites. it allows me to configure a lot of options. I can define mass mailing campaigns. I can define unique mail server, so I can separate out mail server for marketing. I can also give options for subscribing to newsletters on my website. So this is a feature available with integration with the website module. I can create my mailing list, upload my contact list, or since it is directly integrated within Odoo, so you can basically select contacts from Odoo itself, and you can, of course, needless to say, you can upload more contacts within the system. You can generate your mailing list here. So for example, this is a mailing list which has 3 people. Okay, and here I would be able to design different kinds of emails, let's say newsletters. I can define which particular mailing list requires this to be sent. You can already see that it is populating contacts and leads, recruitment applicants. So it is basically taking the standard models easily, which I need not specify once again. I have some tools available to modify the body of the email. It has given me similar features what I have in a website module, if not exact. I have some specifically market related content like a promo code that I can add up, certain steps, I can add a particular event, and so on. I can apply some footers for copyright. So a lot of good and decent features are available to modify the body of the email, and I believe a company with a decent basic requirements, all options are available to manage the email marketing. Also, once you select and save it, the system shows you the details of emails. It will also be able to check if there are links, then how many clicks are there, how many emails have been opened, and so on. I was asked by one of the customers, how do I verify this information? And this also never came into my mind. We presume that uh, once Odoo is showing these metrics, this will work. So for one of our clients, we actually tested this through personal phone calls and 2 different tools. One was MailChimp and one was Odoo, where we sent newsletters from both the tools in different months, and we tried to check the statistics. If these emails are going into spam, if these emails or metrics are actually correct, and based on our exercise by calling people or communicating by email or their attendance on the event, we find it to be close to 95 to 98% accuracy. Okay, so that was a good number, and this was a good case where the client did not require the need to invest on any other email marketing tool. So this is also one of the good things of one of the good modules that I find really useful, which allows you to let go of any specific business related software and use the same in Odoo itself. If you understand how Odoo is capturing different business application, its idea is to capture all possible business processes within the same application. Apart from this, Odoo has a variety of applications, and it is not possible to cover them in a 2-hour session. So, and if ideal functional training is required, we also have sessions for a detailed functional training, which encompasses between 5 to 10 days, that can additionally be availed. Apart from this, I would also like to cover how Odoo structures its configuration window. So apart from how we can install apps, under settings, we have options to manage multi-company. We have options to define access rights. If I enable the, you can change the language and time zone. Odoo has one more great functionality. It is available in more than 30 to 40 languages now, maybe more. I do not remember the exact number. And translations, good translations are available for all the standard modules at will. You can easily install the languages and put it across. Time zone allows you to see the dates and details in your own time zone for different users. You can also manage your own signatures. Uh, Odoo has a developer mode. This is primarily not for the end user, but when you are a functional consultant or you are a developer for debugging or to understand the additional functionalities, you can enable these modes and see some additional fields and information. For example, at this point of time, I cannot see all the fields, but as soon as I enable the developer mode, I would be able to see additional information. You can see that some additional technical settings have been loaded up and you can make some changes here. This also allows you to make a lot of other changes. There are a lot of settings that are available to a technical or rather functional consultant. Maybe you can define your outgoing email servers. You can define email templates. You can make some changes. You can change different certain actions. You can change certain views. So Odoo functional consultants scope is has a wide range of functions and features. As a consultant, I do not advise each and every customization or changes to be done either through code and even through from a functional means point of view. So depending on the change, I make a judgment whether it is to be required to be hard coded or required to be converted into a module or can be managed from a configuration point of view. You can also see that we have user roles and groups that can be defined. And for each and every group, you have definitive access rights for each and every object. that can be managed. You can see that we can basically literally control the access rights. But practically speaking, uh, especially when you have customized the system extensively or to a good extent, it is not advisable to make any changes from a functional view. Okay, if your customization efforts are already low and you need to make certain modifications, then you can do it. And as one of the questions which came up earlier, especially when you are making any changes to the database, those changes do not come as a module. There is no way to generate them as a module, and hence if you are generating new database, then you will not be able to replicate this. You will have to make all these configurations once again, and hence I strongly recommend that whenever you have to make extensive changes, we do it through a technical route and create a module. Okay, so this was a brief overview of the functional aspect. I understand that it was not I had not covered each and every module, and to be honest, not possible to cover each and every functionality of Odoo. I have tried to give you an overview, the capabilities of Odoo and what it can do. We can take up the questions for a detailed training sessions. We can always have a detailed discussion at the end of the day. I have some questions which have been posted to me. I have a question from Mr. Peter. Can we have one installation for a group of company with operations such as internal inventory transfer between companies, inventory locations? Mr. Peter, it is going to take some more time. So maybe I can handle this at the end of the day or in a separate session. It may not be possible within few minutes. So I'll serve your request at a later session. Kindly feel free to ask me any questions. I have one question from, so the question is how to transfer the stock from one company to another. So transferring stock from one company to another would require creating multiple locations for each and every company. While I will do configuration in another session, but I will briefly explain this. So Odoo's transfers involves, as far as internal transfers are considered, we have different warehouses which belong to different companies. So for example, your company's a warehouse belongs to your company. Then we have Chicago warehouse which belongs to a different company. Now for these we have different locations which are auto generated, as we can see. In transfers, unless and until we have put our restrictions, we can generate internal transfers. Please note that you should have rights for internal transfers. If I choose a particular company, the system will restrict me from transferring the information from one company to another. In this scenario, you will have to build an operation where you can create an intercompany transfer. And hence, in this scenario, we will be using the concept of routes. Okay. So what will happen? You will do a transfer at a transit location. Something like this. Let me see if I have a transit location like this. And then from that transit location, I will create a route. So basically what is happening, I am creating a virtual location from where I am transferring the stock from one location to that location. And in another step, I will be transferring the data stock from that virtual location transit to the another location for the company. So either we can do this manual process. So I am doing stock transfers from A to transit and then transit to B location. Or I can use some automated routing feature where I can, as soon as a stock is received at a virtual location for transit, I can generate it to the B. It is not possible to show you the complete operation right now. I can take this up in another session, but it is quite possible without any customization requirements. We can take one or two more questions before we move on to the next agenda. I have a question from Mr. Gautam. I think I already answered that, why I did not have access to reconcile. So you could see that you can define the access rights, and even some rights may not be available with the admin also. So even that is possible. Next question is how to consolidate the purchase orders from different companies and receive from the main company and distribute it. So this will require us to make customization. So many modules are company restrictive. So if there is a document belonging to one company, first of all, the system will restrict me to combine them in some way. So we will require some customization to be able to, first of all, merge purchase orders. And if you are merging, then you are able to merge them from one company. And then distribution will be another story altogether, because if you are linking the original POs with a combined PO, then the system should also be able to track the warehouse of the original PO, if it is the case. So, and hence in this scenario, we will be requiring the customization to be done. If you are to handle without customization, then the POs has to be handled separately, brought to a virtual location like a transit location, and then distributed across. I have one question for Mr. Peter. Have you ever installed Odoo to manage a hospital? Yes, we have done, I guess, 3 projects related to healthcare industry. 2 projects. One project was related to core pharmacy, online selling of medicines. The other project was a company which provided healthcare services at home, and there was a third company which was a proper hospital. In all the 3 cases, we have done extensive customization. These customizations were done in previous versions. I believe one was in version 8, one was in version 10, and the third one was in version 11. Extensive customization was done, and those requirements are also specific to hospital. But most hospitals have major basic features acceptable to all. I have a few more questions. So let me take them up. I have a question which says we have a university module. Is it like what PeopleSoft campus covers? So Mr. Christopher, maybe we can have this discussion probably by end of the day. Gaurav would be able to assist you with it. It's more to deal with the specific application. So maybe we will be able to answer that at the end of the day. I have a
Christopher,
question.
you can mark me a mail in separate for this. I will definitely be helping you for university module. It might be having many features that we have in PeopleSoft. So there is no worries. You please let me know whatever you are looking for. I will definitely be giving you a demonstration of the same in separate.
I have a question which says, what about requirements for different features for different industries? So the point is that uh, every industry demands some certain set of features which may not be available in the vanilla application. We as a team have worked in various industries and happen to uh, set up these modules or deploy these modules, and hence we have an understanding of those businesses. Many other vendors would have done the same, and also any additional industries that come up, we understand the requirements and then we modify the system to suit the requirements.
Pratik, I'm sorry for interrupting, but Boniface is having very less time. He's a busy person, so he spent like 5 minutes for us. So he's the one guy who is head implementer in one big media house in Kenya. So he would like to share his experience with Odoo for last 6 years. So we are giving services to him for last 6 years. Boniface, up to you. You are on mute.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Am
Yes,
I
we can hear
audible?
you loud and clear.
Okay, my name, as Gaurav has said, is Boniface Nderito. From Kenya, we are one of the largest. I work for Radio Africa Group as the ICT manager. We are one of the largest media houses in Kenya, possibly the largest media house in Kenya. And as Gaurav has stated, we decided to move all our business processes into an ERP, and we came into contact with Apagen. And as he has said, we have a history of 6 years. The project has been going on for 6 years. I would say we've done almost 16 modules. There have been very much of customization from the Apagen team. We have some modules which are not off the shelf, like radio and TV, because the way we capture our orders is different from traditional CRMs. We also have print and digital. We have projects, accounting, purchases, warehouse, marketing, HR, knowledge, and of course, reporting and CRM. It is about a total of 16 modules have been deployed so far. And over the years, after the gap analysis, Apagen have proved to be one of the top providers of Odoo. We, at first, I would say we were not so confident that they would do it, considering our business processes, but somehow they came to understand what was required. We gave the requirements, specifications, and we are now, I would say, we are on the 4th stage of the life cycle for this project. So far, it has delivered 85% of our business processes are on Odoo for all departments. Everybody who's in this office is actually does everything we do in the office is through Odoo. And I think Apagen have played a very key role in making sure of this. Hopefully, we are looking at the end of this year to finalize on I think two business processes are still outside ERP, which is what we are, Pratik and his team are currently handling. And all in all, I would say it has made our work more efficient in terms of reporting. The reports we are getting real time with factual data. And of course, cost has gone down since we've gotten rid of most of our legacy systems. Now everything is done from, especially in terms of finance and sales. Now the managers, the executives are able to get the reports they need in real time just by the click of a button. And for anyone who's looking or who has any doubts of whether they should move to Odoo, I'd ask you to use us as an example. We are a very complex organization, and the fact that these guys have actually gone ahead and done it for us over the last 6 years, it's been a long journey, but it's been worth it. And I would advise anyone who's looking to go into Odoo to please do so without any hesitation. It is cheaper than most of the other options that are out there. And if you're willing to go with Apagen, I would also advise you go with Apagen if it's the service provider. There are other service providers out there. We tried a few with something called the proof of concept, where we gave them some requirements to develop some of these things. And there are companies in India, not in Kenya. And I think Apagen stood out from the word go. And I think so far, Pratik and team and Gaurav are actually doing a wonderful job. That's it from me. As I've said, it's the way to go. It's the future. Yeah, Gaurav. Hello, I think I'm done.
Thank you, Boniface, for the kind words. Okay. And thank you, audience, for the patient listening. We will now go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be returning in 10 to 15 minutes. I would again like to thank Boniface for spending some valuable time and for his nice words. Thank you all. Thank you, Boniface. Let's meet again in the next 15.
Like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel videos, and you will be getting a lot. And yes, don't forget to comment upon these videos, because if you comment on these videos, this will really going to give us the motivation to upload more and more videos. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.